24.
Oh, absolutely. Always ready for some pageant talk.
Me too, me too. Specifically, today we're checking in on the Philippines representative, Chelsea Manalo. See how she's doing just a few days before the big event. We're going to be looking at some hot predictions from Missosology, so let's get started.
Oh, yeah, those Missosology rankings. Everyone's always so eager to see them.
Yeah, they really get everyone talking, right?
For sure, it really adds to the excitement leading up to the competition.
Well, they just released their initial hot picks, and Chelsea scored 10th place. Not bad at all.
That's a pretty strong start, for sure.
But before we dig into that, let's see who's at the top. Missosology's current top 5 is quite a group. We've got Amelia Dides from Chile in first place, followed by Tatiana Comel from Peru, then Selene Santos representing the Dominican Republic, Victoria Knier Tielvig from Denmark is in fourth, and rounding out the top 5 is Sakili Dubé from Zimbabwe.
Wow, that's a really diverse group of women. Latin America, Europe, Africa. It shows how global Miss Universe truly is.
Yeah, for sure. And keep in mind, these predictions are just a glimpse. They're based on early impressions, but they're not the whole story.
Right, right. There's so much more that goes into these rankings than meets the eye.
Exactly. So spill the tea. What factors are they looking at? Is it all about looks, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's way more than just looks, trust me. Methodology considers everything from past pageant experience to social media presence. They even look at interviews and how the contestants perform in the preliminaries.
Hold on. For those of us who aren't pageant experts,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly are these preliminaries you're talking about?
Ah, good question. Think of them as like mini competitions that happen before the main event. They usually include things like swimsuit, evening gown, and interview segments. It's a chance for the judges to get a first look at the contestants. And the Missosology team, they're usually right there in the audience, watching closely and taking everything into account for their rankings.
Oh, I see. So these rankings are actually pretty important then.
Absolutely. They can influence a lot of things, like betting odds, media attention, even how the contestants are seen by the judges. It's all about gaining momentum early on.
It's like setting the stage.
Exactly. And speaking of timing, these predictions came out just a few days before the official preliminaries and the national costume competition, which are both on November 14th. Philippine time, of course.
Oh, wow. The timing couldn't be better. It's like the calm before the storm. I bet the anticipation is just killing Chelsea right now, knowing she's about to face off against some seriously fierce competition.
Oh, for sure. But hey, Filipinos are known for their strength and grace under pressure.
That's right. The Philippines has a phenomenal track record at Miss Universe, with 4 previous winners.
Exactly. That legacy definitely adds to the excitement and the expectations for Chelsea's journey.
Speaking of excitement, did you see Tyra Banks gave Chelsea a shout-out on Instagram?
I did. That's awesome.
It's amazing how much buzz Chelsea's already generating.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's rooting for her.
Okay, so let's recap. Chelsea's ranked 10th by Missosology. She's up against an incredibly talented and diverse group of women. She's already got international attention, but what does that 10th place ranking actually mean? Is she a long shot? Or could she pull off a surprise win?
That's the question, isn't it? To really understand her chances, we need to take a closer look at what makes Chelsea stand out and what Missosology might be hinting at with that ranking. You know, it's interesting, these rankings, they often give you little clues about what the judges might be looking for. And Chelsea starting out in the top 10, that tells me she's already caught the eye of those Missosology analysts. They see something special in her, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely on their radar. But what is it about her that makes her stand out? I mean, there are hundreds of contestants. What makes her different?
Well, when you look at her background, she's not your typical beauty queen. She's an architect.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and she's a big advocate for sustainable design. And get this, she even has a black belt in Taekwondo.
No way. That's so cool.
Right. She's got this incredible combination of brains, beauty, and athleticism.
I love that. It's like she's redefining what it means to be a Miss Universe contestant.
Yeah.
She's not just a pretty face. She's got substance and a passion for making a real difference.
Exactly. And that's something that really resonates with judges nowadays. They're not just looking for a beauty queen anymore. They're looking for a role model, a leader, someone who can use their platform to have a positive impact.
So it sounds like her background and her advocacy work are definitely working in her favor. But what about her performance in the preliminaries? Did she do well there too?
From what I've seen, she absolutely killed it. Reports from the preliminaries say she nailed the swimsuit and evening gown segments, showed off her amazing physique and stage presence, and apparently her interview performance was super strong too. Her intelligence and eloquence really shine through.
Yeah, she's checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
But let's be real, even with a great preliminary performance and all those amazing qualities, there's still a lot that can happen between now and the coronation night.
Oh, absolutely. It's a live event. Anything can happen. Nerves can get to even the most experienced contestants. Wardrobe malfunctions, who knows? And then there's the subjective nature of judging. What one judge loves, another might not be as impressed by.
That's true, that's true.
Hmm.
So how much weight should we actually give these initial predictions? Are they a good indicator of who's going to win? Or they're just for fun to create some buzz?
I wouldn't say they're completely meaningless. Missosology has a pretty good track record of identifying frontrunners. But you gotta remember, they're just one piece of the puzzle. There are
Mhm.
so many factors that play into a contestant's success, and things can change so quickly, especially in those final days leading up to coronation night. Remember Katrina Gray?
Oh, yeah.
She won Miss Universe in 2018 representing the Philippines, but she wasn't a top favorite at first. She blew everyone away with her performance and her personality.
That's right. She really stole the show.
She did. And it's a good reminder that there's always room for surprises in these competitions. It's not just about checking boxes, it's about that it factor. That ability to connect with the audience, to own the stage and leave a lasting impression.
I totally get what you mean. It's about that special something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Miss Universe so exciting to watch. It's not just about finding the most beautiful woman, it's about finding someone who embodies everything a true Miss Universe should be. Someone who's intelligent, compassionate, confident, ready to use their platform to make a real difference in the world.
And speaking of making a difference, Chelsea's advocacy work is really inspiring. She's a strong voice for sustainable development, which is such a crucial global issue.
It's fantastic to see contestants using their platform to raise awareness for important causes. And Chelsea's not just talking the talk, she's walking the walk. She actually incorporates sustainable design principles into her own architectural work.
Oh, wow. So she's actually putting it into practice.
Exactly, showing that you can create beautiful and functional spaces while being mindful of the environment.
That's so impressive. She's not just advocating for change, she's living it.
And that kind of authenticity, it can really shine through on stage.
It makes her message even more powerful.
Absolutely. When someone speaks from the heart about something they truly care about, it resonates with the audience and the judges on a much deeper level.
This conversation has really opened my eyes to how much more there is to Miss Universe than just the glitz and glamour.
Right. It's a platform for these women to showcase their talents, their intelligence, and their commitment to making the world a better place.
And it seems like Chelsea embodies all of that and more. I can really see why Missosology put her in their top 10.
It's definitely a well-deserved recognition of her potential, but like we've been saying, it's still a long road ahead. The coronation night is where it all comes down to the wire.
So what should we be looking for on that big night? What are the key factors that'll determine who takes home the crown?
That's a great question. There are so many elements that come into play on coronation night. The swimsuit and evening gown segments are always crowd pleasers, but it's often the interview portion that really makes the difference.
Yeah, that's where they really have to think on their feet, articulate their thoughts, and let their personality shine through.
Exactly. The judges want to see someone who is poised, articulate, engaging, someone who can connect with the audience and deliver their message with confidence and charisma.
It's almost like a job interview, but with way more sparkle.
You could say that. And just like in a job interview, first impressions matter. The way a contestant carries herself on stage, her confidence, her smile, her ability to command attention, all of that contributes to the overall impression she makes.
So it's not just about what she says, it's how she says it and how she presents herself.
Exactly. And don't forget about the national costume segment. It's a chance for the contestants to celebrate their culture and make a statement.
Oh yeah, the national costumes. I love that part.
Yeah.
Always so visually stunning. It's a great way for them to show off their creativity.
It's definitely a fan favorite. And it can be a game changer for some contestants. A well-designed and well-presented national costume can really create a buzz, leave a lasting impression on the judges.
Sounds like coronation nights can be a whirlwind of excitement, nerves, and unforgettable moments.
It always is. And that's what makes it so captivating. We get to see these incredible women from all around the world sharing their stories, their talents, their dreams.
But in the end, only one gets to wear the crown.
True, but even for those who don't win, the Miss Universe experience is transformative. It's a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and global connection.
And I have a feeling Chelsea is going to make the most of this opportunity no matter what.
I agree. She's already made a mark with her unique background, her advocacy work, and her amazing personality. She's a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today, from the Missosology rankings to the importance of stage presence and the unpredictable nature of live events.
We've looked at what makes Chelsea such a standout contestant and what the judges will be looking for on that big night.
But there's one question that's still on my mind, and I'm sure our listeners are wondering the same thing. With everything we've talked about, all these different things that could help or hurt a contestant's chances, what do you think is the most important thing for a Miss Universe winner? Is it beauty, intelligence, stage presence, or is it something else entirely?
Oh, that's the big question, isn't it? And there's no easy answer. All those things are important, of course. But if I had to choose just one, I'd say it's authenticity.
Authenticity, huh? I like that. Tell me more.
It's about being genuinely yourself, letting your personality shine through, connecting with the audience on a real human level. Because the judges, they can spot a fake from a mile away. They're looking for someone who's genuine, relatable, someone with a story to tell.
So it's not about being perfect, it's about being real, flaws and all.
Exactly. Owning your story, your experiences, your passions, that's what makes someone truly memorable and inspiring.
Yeah. When I think back to past winners, I can definitely see that. They weren't just beautiful, they were authentic and engaging. They had something to say.
Exactly. Think about Katrina Gray. She won over the whole world, not just with her looks, but with her energy, her passion for her country, and her sincere desire to make a difference.
Yeah, she was amazing. Okay, so authenticity is key. But how do you think Chelsea measures up in that department?
From what I've seen, Chelsea's the real deal. She's not trying to be anyone she's not. She's just being herself. And that's what makes her so compelling.
So you're saying all those things we talked about, her being an architect, her advocacy work, even her black belt in Taekwondo, all of that adds to her authenticity.
Absolutely. It shows she's a well-rounded person with depth and substance. She's not just a beauty queen. She's a woman of the world with experiences, passions, and her own voice.
And that voice has already reached some pretty influential people,
Yeah.
like Tyra Banks. Do you think endorsements like that can actually sway the judges?
Well, it definitely can't hurt. It shows that she's creating buzz, getting attention from people outside the pageant world. And it adds to her overall story, highlighting her global appeal.
This has been such an interesting deep dive. We've learned about the Missosology rankings, what makes a contestant successful, and how important it is to be authentic.
We've talked about Chelsea's unique qualities and how she compares to the other contestants.
But like you said before, anything can happen on coronation night.
That's right. Miss Universe is always full of surprises and unexpected moments. That's what keeps us all glued to our screens.
So as we wrap things up today, let's leave our listeners with something to think about. We've discussed all the objective things, the rankings, the scores, the judges' criteria.
But what about the subjective experience of watching Miss Universe?
What makes you, the listener, root for a particular contestant? Is it her beauty, her intelligence, her advocacy, her national costume, or something else entirely?
As you watch the competition, ask yourself, what makes a Miss Universe truly stand out to me?
It's a great question to consider. This has been an awesome look into the world of Miss Universe. We can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Until next time, keep diving deep.